Gabriel Sachter-Smith. I'm the manager and owner here at Hawai'i Banana Source in Hānai'Ai on the island of Oahu on the North Shore. I started farming, that's an interesting question, kind of depends how you define farming. Started studying bananas 20 years ago, maybe started growing them a little bit more agriculturally, let's say like 15 years ago, and I became a full-time farmer like 6 or 7 years ago. This farm has been in production of, well, for the bananas specifically, and as our main crop, only about 2 or 3 years. We were growing vegetables. We had a value-added, vertically integrated kimchi and kraut business primarily, so we were growing veggies, turning them into value-added fermented food products. But I always wanted to do bananas. My business partner wanted to do that, and finally we were able to figure it all out, and now we just grow bananas. Mostly through rotation and roguing, so like for bunchy top virus, that's one of our biggest issues pest-wise. We just make sure to plant clean plants. If we see them, we take them out, and we're always vigilant about it. Things like corn weevils and nematodes, we always try to be vigilant about making sure we're planting plants that aren't infested with them. That's a big key thing, and not having plants stay in the field that are too old and getting infested with it. And then for different leaf diseases, such as sigatoka in the winter, we make sure that we do a lot of leaf pruning and have good airflow and good ventilation, which reduces the prevalence of that disease.
What is it?
So we plant 500 plants at a time. That's 500 plants per acre. I have some custom tractor implements I made, so we, well, first we like rip and disc the soil. We'll add all amendments in, compost, manure, things like that. And then we'll make trenches in the ground. I put potted banana plants in the ground that are fully rooted and ready to grow. And then we have another custom tractor implement that pushes all the soil back on plants and closes the trench. And then we use drip irrigation to irrigate. And that's pretty much the basics of that. Our main source of fertility is compost and chicken manure. Occasionally tankage. Occasionally some other little things, like boron supplementation if needed, but mostly manure and compost.
Farm.
Currently we're a team of 3, including myself, trying to get up to like 4 to 5 tops, and I think that'll be pretty good. But we're adding people as we grow, as we need to. Efficiency. Labor is like the #1 cost that we have, and so doing more with less people, more efficiently is the name of the game. We try to make everything we do as efficient as possible, which means not wasting times on things that we don't need to do. Not you know, going back and trying to fix things that aren't fixable. We just always trying to move forward and think ahead on everything, and try to have as few movements as possible, as few touches on our products as possible, and always have a plan. We're always trying to plan out, and I have an idea of what we're doing the next day, the next week, the next month, the next year, and so everything is thought out as best that we can, and so we get in there and we just know what to do, and hopefully we do it well. For food safety, fortunately we haven't needed to really do much yet. It's something a lot of people talk about, but not something that we had to deal with. But that being said, in our wash and pack area, I have taken training courses on it, and we're ready to be compliant. We're ready to be certified if we need to, just in terms of how we have it set up and what our procedures are. But other than that, like actually on the ground, I do make sure that we don't take fruit that's like really covered, you know, in bird droppings, or if we have bunches that maybe fell on the ground and they've been eaten partially by wild animals or something, we don't harvest that. And then yeah, we just try to keep things clean and keep it sanitary the best that we can, and make sure that we're following our guidelines as far as when we're using manure. I mean, it's pretty easy with bananas, but it's many months after application that we harvest, so things like that we make sure to pay attention to. Sure, so in a field like this, we'll come through with a padded trailer. We harvest the bunches, and we put them straight onto the trailer. We truck them over to the other farm. We load them onto a rail line that we can move them easily through, like many thousands of pounds of bananas, through the pack house. Then we cut off the hands, We select out the fruit that's going to be either like farmer food or discarded if they don't make the quality grade. And then we wash them in water. We spray out any debris that we might be stuck in the little piece between the fruits. We let the sap drain out into the water, and we're always having fresh water rolling through so that the sap is drained and the debris is drained. And then we take them out, we let them briefly dry, and we pack them we pack them straight into crates, like plastic crates. Then they kind of dry down, we stack them up, we label them, and then they either go into our walk-in cooler storage if they need to be held for a little bit, or they'll just leave that day on a truck off farm. Primarily right now, the bulk of our bananas are sold through FarmLink Hawai'i. It's an online produce distribution, sort of like online farmers market of sorts. But we also sell wholesale direct to some other customers such as Banan, Pico Provisions, like a baby food company, a couple banana bread companies, smoothie shops, but I really prefer wholesale. We used to do farmers market, but it's a lot of work. And with bananas, people always want ripe fruit, and it's hard to bring that much ripe fruit in a day, and then if you don't sell it, then you don't have much shelf life left. So it actually kind of leads to a lot of loss, and it's overall a pretty challenging thing to do. So I'm kind of shying away from farmers markets at the moment. Honestly, I don't need to do much to promote. We have some social media presence on Instagram and Facebook, but I never really advertise that we have fruit for sale or that we have anything for sale, because the amount of customers that know about us and want our fruit are waiting in line, and I can't even meet all their demands. So it's a pretty good position to be in, that everybody likes bananas. But as far as staying relevant, I'm pretty connected in the banana world, and I'm always going to farmers markets, going to grocery stores, keeping an ear open for what people are looking for, what people want. Yeah, my whole life is bananas and living on Oahu, so I feel like I have a pretty good idea of what people are into, and maybe also setting some trends myself. There's been a casual interest, of course, from mostly people wanting tours. It's a really, really hard thing to do, but I'd like to maybe play with it one day in the future. Also, a lot of people want to come buy fruit on the farm. That's another really challenging thing to do logistically. So no, we're not planning on doing those anytime soon, but if we were to add a major thing in, it would be that. Or one day, if we can generate excess plant material that we don't need for planting our fruit crops, then I'd like to get more into selling plants to gardeners or other farmers. What does the future hold for my farm? I hope a lot more bananas. We're really trying to just grow as much as we can while staying sane and staying happy about it. I really like to try to maintain a simple, straightforward operation where we just grow bananas and try to do it well. I hope that we can keep growing into the future as long as I'm able to, because I really do love it, and I can't think of a better job.
Farmers?
Yeah, if you want to start a farm, probably don't. That doesn't mean don't farm, but don't start farming by trying to start a farm. Go get as much experience as you can working on other functional farms, as many places as you can, in as many diverse situations as you can. Learn all you can, and after a number of years of that, you'll either know that you want to farm, you just don't want to own a farm. You don't want to farm at all. Or you want to farm and you think you can own a farm, but you probably are going to say to yourself, I need even more experience before I go out on my own. So it's really all about experience, and I think that's the number one best thing you can do.
Great.